To start off this rookie episode, I'm going with someone that's not a rookie.
Messing things up already.
What's up, fantasy football friends? Today we're going to be giving you rookies that you need to keep an eye on in 2023. But first, we have some news.
Always. Chris Godwin, Mike Evans could supposedly be trade deadline candidates, guys. I know that's far out in the season. Deadline's around week 8, week 9. If you're an owner of them, that could end up being a very, very good thing if they get traded to someone that's high-powered offense, much better than what we're projecting Tampa Bay to be like this year. That's a good thing. Moving to the Rams, Cooper Kupp, setback in his hamstring injury. I know you're hating that. Names to keep an eye on, Van Jefferson and Puka Nacua, a guy that I've mentioned before as a big sleeper. I think those two guys are great value picks now at their ADP. Obviously super low. You could probably get them in the last round of your draft. Going to Denver, Samaje Perine set to be the lead back for a good chunk of 2023. So Javonte Williams owners, I would temper expectations on him. Obviously to start the season, we can definitely expect a guy like that to start to trend up midway through the season. So I personally would not look to trade Javonte Williams unless you're getting a great ransom for him. But if you have Perine, good guy to have on your bench right now. Can definitely slot him in if you have a tough matchup or if Perine has a good matchup. Going to Jacksonville, just some news that was kind of obvious to you and I. Christian Kirk, guys, expected to work exclusively from the slot. I think we already stated that in our wide receiver rankings, and that's why we're not as worried about him with Calvin Ridley coming over. Kirk operated out of the slot a majority of the time last season with Marvin Jones and Zay Jones on the outside. Kirk, guys, he's still going to be a very effective player. If anything, his effectiveness per reception, per target should go up the more open offense. So nothing to worry about there. I'm still super confident in Kirk. I think he's a great value where he's getting taken. Moving to New Orleans. Traquan Smith, receiver, undergoes surgery. Rashid Shaheed is dealing with a groin injury. A sleeper I named in our previous video, A.T. Perry, rookie out of Wake Forest. I think the guy has a great chance to operate as the number 3 starting out. If those two, obviously Traquan Smith is going to be out for some time. Rashid Shaheed, if he can't get healthy, guys, A.T. Perry is going to be a guy that, I already said it, I think he's going to be one of the top waiver wire ads within the first quarter of the season. A guy I would take my last round pick on. Moving to Miami, Devon Achane set to return to practice. Jeff Wilson has been moved to the IR, will miss the first 4 weeks of the season. So Devon Achane is the rookie out of A&M. Very fast guy, a guy that's getting drafted in around the 9th round right now. I think Achane, if you want to take a flyer on him, let him sit on your bench for a little, could be another one of those guys we see come around midway through the season and possibly win some fantasy championships. We see it every year. And then also in Miami, Tyreek Hill faces no discipline for an incident that happened in the offseason out of Miami Marina. So guys, be confident in taking him. Nothing to see there, obviously, nothing to worry about. Tyreek Hill, guys, is someone that I've stated on this show before that I believe can finish as wide receiver overall number 1.
As you said, I am pretty sad about that Cooper Kupp news.
I feel like a lot of us don't understand. He's 30 years old. We think of him as being a younger guy, but he came into the league at 24, I believe, 23, I forget. Older guy, 30 years old, dealing with hamstring injuries, suffering a setback. I'm probably out on him, to be honest, unless he fell to me in the bottom of the 2nd round. I don't know, guys. I would just keep an eye on it.
Second, you are not getting Cooper
That'd be
Kupp.
I mean, yeah, someone's gonna take him, obviously. I'm just saying that's the only time I would take him. But all right, man, let's jump into it.
Jordan Love is going to be my starting guy. He's not exactly a rookie. So to start off this rookie episode, I'm going with someone that's not a rookie.
Messing things up already.
For all intents and purposes, in fantasy, he's a rookie. Mobile quarterback. He has Mahomes-esque playmaking ability. If you watch his highlights, you can see him roll out, sidearm, do basically anything with the ball. Obviously, not yet to the tier Mahomes can, but you like to see that type of explosiveness in a player like Jordan Love. Gets the ball out quick. 2 years under Rodgers, I think he learned some things. He probably can read defenses better than most rookies can. 2 wide receivers that are also stepping into their 2nd year. That's going to play into his favor. They already know a little bit more about the NFL, how to get open for a quarterback. Veteran running backs going to help him pace the offense and make sure that they're still getting down the field. Good system as well. Green Bay is a great organization, so you like to see that, whereas a lot of times you see these rookies get drafted to teams that were terrible the year before.
CJ Stroud.
Bad organizations, and it just sets them up for failure. This is not the situation that Jordan Love's in. ADP of 166, so if you're looking to grab him as like a 2nd quarterback, I actually like that pick a lot for upside. Or even just off the waivers, keep your eye out for Jordan Love. I think he could be a great pickup.
Yes. I totally agree. At quarterback, I'm going to give you a rookie who's kind of an obvious pick. I think even before the NFL draft actually happened, we all knew that this would be the rookie that came in, gave you the most upside at quarterback. Anthony Richardson obviously has great rushing upside. We could see double-digit touchdowns his rookie season, I believe, especially with Jonathan Taylor. That situation is unresolved. We have no idea how that's going to work out. I think Anthony Richardson, guys, is going to give you a lot with his legs. Has a cannon for an arm, too. I think he has a better receiving core than what we give Indianapolis credit for with Pittman, Alec Pierce, and then Josh Downs, the rookie out of UNC. I'm not too worried about who he's throwing to. I just think we don't really know what to expect of that offense. The line wasn't as good as we thought it was going to be. If that can get back in shape, then I think Richardson gives you a solid floor there. But the upside's always going to be there, which makes him a very intriguing pick. His ADP is 116, so he smashed in between Daniel Jones and Geno Smith, two guys that I'm high on. Anthony Richardson, guys, QB 15 right now. I think he's a solid pick. Again, if you're looking for a guy as your second quarterback, I wouldn't be confident in starting him week 1, week 2, maybe the first quarter of the season to see how he does, but play him in good matchups if your quarterback has a bad matchup or on a bye, injury, etc. But Anthony Richardson, guys, someone that I'm pretty excited about in fantasy this year. I hope the kid succeeds. I'm pretty high on him personally, but I just think he offers you a lot there as a rookie.
Yeah, so two high upside guys in the rookie position. Obviously, guys you're not looking to start right away. Guys that you don't expect a lot out of right off the bat either. People to definitely keep an eye on. These next two guys are the opposite. You really want them to be producing for you right away. So we're going in the running back position. I'm going to start with Bijan Robinson. Being drafted in the first round, generally the second or third running back off the board alongside CMC and Austin Eckler. Drafted at number 8 this year by the Falcons. Obviously super high expectations as a running back being taken that early. Kind of comparable to Saquon when he arrived out of Penn State. I think he'll be used in multiple positions, really elevating his upside on a week-to-week basis and also elevating his floor. He's light on his feet. He's explosive. The Falcons last year, 354 rushes between Algier and Cordero Patterson. They gave Tyler Algier 210 rushes, guys. And nothing against Algier, but he's not Bijan level talent. If Bijan can get anywhere between 210 to 250 rushes, then we could see the type of workload that people like Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs get. Desmond Ritter is in his first year, kind of like with Jordan Love. A team that struggles in the quarterback position tends to rely on the running back so that they can still get some productive movement down the field. Just a really great talent, really great situation.
Considering him at number 2, guys, in our big draft, which we are now, 4 days away from?
Yeah, guys. So this Wednesday, we will be live streaming that. It's going to be very interesting.
The day before the season starts, man.
Yeah, the day before the season starts. Yeah. So if you want to get some last-minute excitement in before the real deal comes around with Patrick Mahomes and Jared Goff going head-to-head.
I'm giving you Jahmyr Gibbs at running back for my rookie. Like you said, these were two obvious picks. Picked at 8 and 12 respectively in the NFL draft this year. Jahmyr Gibbs, guys, going 33 ADP, RB13, smashed in between Joe Mixon and Jonathan Taylor. I'm higher on him than both of those guys, especially Jonathan Taylor as of now. Jahmyr Gibbs, guys, receiving. You're going to see it. I've stated this over and over when talking about either him, Amon-Ra, or Sam LaPorta. The Lions are looking for another guy to step up in the receiving game for them. Gibbs is going to get a bunch of receptions. Obviously, the number 12 pick is invested in him. So he's a guy that you're going to see early usage out of, which is, I like that you stated that. These are guys that we expect to hit the ground running, literally and figuratively. Probably won't see as much goal line work with David Montgomery being there, getting signed in the offseason to a 3-year, $18 million deal. But Jahmyr Gibbs, guys, he's going to get touches. He's going to be efficient. Carter stated in another video we had talking about him. Jahmyr Gibbs, guys, very explosive at both Georgia Tech and Alabama. What was it? Runs of 20 yards or more?
Receptions
Of 20 yards or more, guys.
And it was touchdown receptions.
Yeah.
And it was...
Yeah, he had like 5 at Alabama, and then I think he hit 12 for his last 2 seasons at Georgia Tech.
Yeah, I don't want to get that wrong, but something like that.
Something around. He's a very explosive guy. So I call him Alvin Kamara Light, or the second coming of Alvin Kamara Jr., whatever you want to call him, guys. I think Gibbs is great. I think he's going to be a very good pick if you can get him. Personally, I'm looking at drafting him at the bottom of the second round, but if he's a guy that falls in your draft to you at the third round, I think that's great value. Having him as your RB2, I think that's a very safe pick. In terms of upside and floor, I think he's going to give it to you this year. Looking at it now, 5 touchdowns of 20-plus yards with Alabama in 2022 and 8 from 2020 to 2021 with Georgia Tech, guys. So great PPR. PPR guy. And also, just to clarify things, when we're talking about ADP guys, we get it off of Fantasy Pros, PPR scoring, and it's a collection of 4 different sources. So they give you ESPN, Sleeper, RT Sports, and NFL. So that's where we get our ADP from. But Jahmyr Gibbs, guys, I love him where he's getting taken. I think he's a huge upside guy. I think he'll finish as RB1. So he's my rookie running back.
I think you hit the nail on the head. Definitely gets a boost in PPR. Bijan Robinson as well.
Yeah. Just to add one thing with Bijan, we've seen him in training camp get split out wide, get split out in the slot. So he's a guy that's going to get push 300 touches overall. Yeah. So I think that's great.
Super exciting.
Yeah.
Quentin Johnston is next for the Los Angeles Chargers. This is a guy I like for his upside. He's looked very impressive in training camp. Only 11 targets and 8 receptions in 3 preseason games. Fine with me. I don't think that's a really big deal, something to stress about. It's just preseason. I think that the Chargers know this is the guy that they're going to be used throughout the season, so I don't look too much into that. He did have a touchdown, however, so if you do want to look into it, look at that. We all saw what he did at TCU last year. 6 receptions for 163 yards against Michigan, sending them to the finals. Obviously, they got waxed, but you don't really expect TCU to win it. Johnston's not a guy that you expect to start right away, both in the real-life games and in fantasy. Obviously, the Chargers have Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Josh Palmer, and those are guys that are proven in the NFL, can produce week in, week out. So as a rookie, you don't just come in and knock those guys off right away. It just doesn't happen. I mean, if you have players that you know that can produce, you're just going to play them. Simple as that. However, he'll be in and out of the lineup, probably see a couple snaps in the beginning and progress with more and more snaps as the weeks go on. Obviously, a huge downfield threat. As I said, 6 receptions for 163 yards. Herbert is just going to pelt him with downfield targets. We see him do it with Mike Williams. So honestly, if we just send Mike Williams and Quentin Johnston on streaks every single play, that's just going to be devastating. But obviously that wouldn't really work. But theoretically, if you're playing Madden, that might work.
Right.
ADP of 121. So top of the 11th. If you're looking for a guy with big play upside to slot in the flex, and if there's any injury between Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, we've seen it in the past, he definitely steps up into that wide receiver 3, high-end wide receiver 3, low-end wide receiver 2 range. Yeah. Quentin Johnston, a guy I really like, someone that's explosive, someone that's going to be fun to watch throughout the season as well.
Me too. I think he's going to be a great guy in this league for a long time. Before I get to my pick for my rookie receiver, I want to shout out Marvin Mims. I think he's going to be great this season, a guy to take a flyer on at the end of your drafts. Guys, I'm giving you Jordan Addison. I've been talking about him all offseason. I absolutely love the guy coming out of USC. Watched him play at Pitt for a long time, kill Virginia. I'm a Virginia fan, so watched him get down and dirty against Virginia with Kenny Pickett and went over to USC, still dominated. Adam Thielen last year, 107 targets, 70 receptions, 700 yards, 6 touchdowns. Jordan Addison is definitely going to up that yards per reception, and if not, up everything across the board there. I think I'm very high on Addison. Right now, he is the 89th pick and smashed in between Jahan Dotson and Brandon Cooks, 2 other guys that I really like. But I think Addison, I think there's no way he actually finishes as the wide receiver 37. That's kind of insane to me. I have him projected as a low-end wide receiver 2. I just think in that offense, it's a wide-open offense. They pass a lot. You still got, second year of Kevin O'Connell there as the head coach, so you're going to see a great offense regardless. But Jordan Addison, guys, his separation ability is crazy. His high point ability is crazy, even though he's a small guy. His body control is great, makes contested catches. I think he's a great talent, a great addition in that offense. So a guy that, again, is going at top of the 8th, bottom of the 7th, great value to me. I think Addison is going to come in and be a guy that contributes from day one. So I personally would like to have him as my flex, but if you guys can get him later than that as your wide receiver 4, let's say, or if he's outruled by another running back you have at your flex, guys, I think Jordan Addison is going to be great. He didn't blow up the combine by any means, but watching him operate on the field, almost kind of Keenan Allen-esque in terms of route running ability. But Jordan Addison, guys, is someone I think is going to operate well in that offense. He's going to get targets. He's going to get you production.
Those are 2 more guys that you can take way later.
Yeah.
Definitely keep an eye on them because they're rookies and they're explosive. It's going to be fun to watch. You have a video out that basically just highlights the fact that there's rookies every year that step up. Garrett Wilson and Olave being examples of that last year.
Yes.
So these are two guys we think could have similar outlooks. I'm going to go with tight end now and start off with Luke Musgrave. This is a guy that isn't getting looked at or talked about too much, and I think that he has some pretty good upside in that Green Bay offense. He's named the tight end 1. He's going to get the looks. He's going to be playing. Doesn't matter that he's a rookie. He's won that job. 11 receptions over 2 games played for Oregon State in 2022. His receiving numbers kept escalating throughout his college career, which just shows that he's maturing as a receiver. Kind of like a receiver, though. He has good yak. He can catch the ball, get away from defenders. Other than that, guys, ADP of 193. I think he's just another guy that you can look at, keep your eye on in your drafts and on the waivers.
Right. Yeah, I think Musgrave, even before he was named tight end 1, he was running with the ones in every single preseason game, came out with the ones. So I think that's very encouraging to see a rookie come in and just kind of take over that position. Tight ends, historically, as rookies, do not finish well. We saw the craze when Kyle Pitts finished as tight end 6, I believe it was, his rookie year. I think there's a lot of rookie tight ends this year. Luke Musgrave, Dalton Kincaid, Sam LaPorta, Michael Mayer, just to name a few for you. I'm giving you Sam LaPorta, another rookie from the Detroit Lions. 2nd-round pick out of Iowa. The guy blew up the combine. Great player. He gives you kind of George Kittle-esque type of play. He's a great yards after the catch guy. Strong guy. Great receiver. I think he's a guy that's going to see production from day one. I have him in another league starting, so I'll be starting him next Thursday against Kansas City. I think that's going to be a high-scoring game. So, guys, if you're looking for a tight end to get in a favorable matchup, I believe Sam LaPorta is that guy. I also think he's great season long. As I've said, they're looking for a second receiver. Jameson Williams is out for his first 6 games. So Sam LaPorta, I think, is a guy that's going to step up. I think he's going to give you production. He's going to see targets. It's very encouraging how much he's played with the first team, what we've heard out of training camp. So that's why he's my guy there at tight end. And before we finish this off, guys, I want to emphasize how important rookies are and not to be afraid of taking them. I'm looking at guys that got drafted last year. At running back, we got Kenneth Walker, Tyler Algier, Dameon Pierce, Isaiah Pacheco, Brian Robinson, James Cook, Rashad White, and Breece Hall. All those guys were serviceable at some point last year for you. I know Kenneth Walker and Algier had great ends to their seasons. Dameon Pierce started well, got injured. Pacheco came on really strong at the end of the year. Same with Brian Robinson. So, guys, don't be scared to take rookies. Just to give you some other guys at receiver, you got Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Drake London, George Pickens, Christian Watson, Alec Pierce, Jahan Dotson, even Romeo Doubs. I'll definitely throw him in there. He's a sleeper for us. Garrett Wilson was Offensive Rookie of the Year with over 1,000 yards, 4 touchdowns, 83 receptions. Olave put up numbers. Drake London was great at the end of the year and the beginning of the year. Pickens is a big play guy. Watson was huge in the second half of the season. All these guys have low ADP. None of these guys are getting taken extremely early besides like Gibbs and Robinson. You got Rashee Rice, Zay Flowers, Quentin Johnston. There's a lot of guys that are out there to go get.
Yeah, guys, the untapped potential in rookies is very exciting. So that ends our video for today. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe. Comment down below if you want to interact or if you want to give us some crap for anything we said.
Yeah.
Or if you want to say, hey, I like that pick. Definitely take this advice, though. As I said, if you watch us daily, you're going to win your league. So have a good one.
Go draft Jahmyr Gibbs.